Hey guys, Mubarak here of In Penny Stock. Hope you're doing well. In today's episode, I want to cover the 5 most important techniques and strategies to keep in mind when you're doing penny stock trading. All right, this I have amassed and accumulated from the 30,000 plus students I have now, and these are pretty much the most frequently asked questions I get, and then the responses and answers that I've been able to kind of curate over the last several years. Okay, so these are the 5 most important tips and tactics I can give you. And a lot of you guys may have heard of this in the past if you've been consuming my content, but a refresher is always good. And so, let's just get started. So, to start off, the first most important strategy of penny stock trading to be successful is to not ever believe in the hype. All right? These companies are going to be coming out with different press releases, contracts, acquisition news, and to be honest, for the penny stock world, right, when you're looking at the markets and the shares that trade in the OTC or the pink sheets or even the low price stocks that are on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange, anything under $5, you have to be skeptical. All right. I'm sure 1 out of 100 of these companies have real strategies, but usually what ends up happening is that these companies pair up with different press release companies, PR companies, public relations companies, and they give some equity to these companies to start promoting them and putting them in newspapers. All right. And then what they do is they engage in the pump and dump, the classic, build up the news, build up the hype, collaborate with many different influencers in the market, have them blast out emails to their thousands of subscribers about this hot penny stock, and then they hold on to the shares, sell them once the hype is built up and they've doubled their money, and then all the other people who are too late to the game are left, with nothing, right? Because as soon as the top investors and the founders sell their shares, they just cashed and made a lot of money. And depending on where you were on this cycle, you can either, catch the wave and sell at the top too, which is what I teach at In Penny Stock. Or unfortunately, if you hold too long, you could lose out. So first thing is never believe the hype. All right, the hot penny stock tip that your cousin gave you or this new product coming out. Remember, these are penny stocks. 99% of them are garbage. No offense to anybody if you own one. Like I said, that 1% or 5% is legit. But I'm pretty confident in saying that from my experience, from the money that I've made and the money I've made my students, you're able to what I teach here specifically is to see the hype and manipulation going on in the market and then capitalize on that, right? How can we make our money from that? Not engage in any of those activities, not engage in that manipulation going on, but still know that it's going on. And because it's available to the public, we can be on the proper and profiting side of that. Okay, so that's rule number 1. Don't believe the hype. Strategy number 2 is to keep in mind the amount of profit to be made. All right. I see a lot of people recently. I think it has to do with the Bitcoin and crypto hype that's going crazy. People doubling their money in one day, or Bitcoin going up $5,000 a day, some crazy stuff like that. But really, don't get greedy, right? First of all, the average investor is happy with 5 to 10% annually with their money. Okay. They'll put it in and they'll pay these hedge fund managers thousands, hundreds of thousands, right? These hedge fund professionals on Wall Street get paid millions of dollars to hold people's money and just make them 10% in a year. So if you have $1,000 or $10,000, that's only $100 profit, or $1,000 on $10,000 of profit in a year. In a year. So even in 10,000, $1,000 profit in a year is less than $100 a month, like $85 or $86 a month. So, that is kind of what the average investor is getting. With penny stock trading, yes, you can make a lot more. You can make 10% in a day. That's an easy day, actually, on one kind of penny stock transaction. But a lot of people I've been seeing recently, especially the newer millennial generation, they're trying to get 30% in one day, 50% in one trade. Don't get greedy, right? You're going to end up on the wrong side of the curve. Penny stock trading is fast. I've had trades that I've made a lot of money on that happen in 43 seconds, right? And I think that's broadcasted on the site too. I have an actual proof of that too. But the real thing to keep in mind is that lock in your gains, right? And if you think it's going to keep going up, sell 75% of your position and hold on to the low 25. At least you've locked in your profits. But what I hate the most from what I see from my students that tell me, this is on a daily basis now. They're like, "Oh man, like I got in at 30 cents. It went up to 70, but I kept holding because I thought it was going to go up to $1, and then it went back down to 20 cents and I lost money." Even though they were in a gain, they almost doubled their money at one point. Like, no. Sell along the way, make your profits, make your money, don't get greedy. Okay? That's strategy number 2. So first one, don't believe the hype. Second one, keep in mind the amount of profit and lock in your profits. Third is, this is a risky game, right? There's a potential that you lose money. However, what I've been saying recently and something that's I've been kind of standing out in my head is that, I've been doing a lot of research on the top portfolio managers in hedge funds and on Wall Street, and these guys who are making $5 million, $10 million a year, or the heads of these of like Barclays, J.P. Morgan, they make hundreds of millions a year. But I look specifically at the portfolio managers, right? The people who are responsible for managing the funds of all of our pension plans and our government funds and your 401ks. And these guys, the most successful people I've found, have a success rate in terms of choosing stocks of almost 50%. The best players. All right? And so when I thought about that, I mean, you can flip a coin and get that 50% success rate pretty much. And really the whole thing that they do is that the way you stay in the game and the way you make your money is just to make sure that you avoid losses. The second the stock transaction all of a sudden is going in a pattern that you didn't expect, right? You bought it at $1 thinking it's going to go to $2. If it falls down to 90 cents, sell right away. Keep your trading account is your ammunition. This is how you are able to stay in the game. So protect your account as much as possible. What I see is people all of a sudden start hoping that the transaction or the trade or the stock is going to turn around and go the other way. Sometimes you can't predict the market, right? The strategies I teach at Penny Stock and that I've made our students successful are strategies that help increase our percentage and our probability of being right. But, there's always a chance. You're never going to have 100% right. Anybody that says they're, 100% right or always have a guarantee of making money, run the other way. Run. Right? Because that's not true at all. I mean, maybe in the future with big data and algorithms and quant trading, but in the current world, there's no way that that's happening. So make sure to avoid losses, protect your account. All right, the fourth one is keep a trading journal, right? One of the best tactics that I implemented that made me a successful stock trader is when I do my research every night, right? I talk about how to make a watch list. When you create a watch list or kind of a record of the different stocks you're going to want to trade or keep an eye out on or make alerts on, keep a journal of what you predict that stock is going to do in the next day based upon your quick research, right? And I have a series that shows you how to research stocks in 5 minutes, but keep a journal and start almost becoming a scientist, right? Nothing crazy, just predict based on what you see, quick technical analysis screen, look at the fundamentals, see if there's any press around the company, see based upon the last couple of days, candlestick reading, see whether you believe the stock is going to go up or down the next day. And then the next day, right, check back on your prediction and see whether you were right or wrong and why. And I found that was one of the best strategies that I implemented that was able to make me successful, because soon enough, after enough times, and it's going to take a while, but soon enough I was able to not only keep track of all my stocks amazingly, but I was able to come to all those conclusions that I teach about at Penny Stock, but just that you could also reach yourself if you just look at the right kind of metrics and look at the right fields. And you'll learn a lot about, hey, like, I didn't realize that this means this. And the biggest thing is we don't know what we don't know. All right? Think about that. We don't know what we don't know. So when you do these types of trading journal exercises, that'll really help you kind of learn that and make successful predictions over time on the penny stock market. And then the final one And it might be a little cliche, but really the important aspect is to invest in yourself and take care of yourself, okay? Trading can be lonely. Trading can require you just staring at a screen from 9:30 to 4 EST, day after day. Sometimes you might not make a single trade, but it's important for you to get out of your chair, exercise, stay active, don't be lonely, right? The better you feel, the more healthy you are, and the more knowledgeable you are, the better you'll do trading wise. Okay? So definitely keep investing in yourself. I'm glad you guys are listening to the podcast. There's a lot of important tactics that I teach here, and I have hundreds of free videos on the website too, where you can really learn to be a successful trader. Because that's what I want to do for you guys. This is why I make this content. I mean, it's not only that I like to hear myself speak, it's more so that I can relay the information that I've learned from successful mentors, from other different penny stock trading teachers, and the years I've put into the industry. Now I can relay that so that you don't have to make the same mistakes, right? Warren Buffett always says that people learn the most from mistakes, and people only learn from mistakes. But it doesn't need to be your mistakes, all right? The smartest people are those who can learn from other people's mistakes. So, quick final recap. The 5 most important strategies, as I mentioned before: don't believe the hype. Number 2 is lock in your profits. 3 is avoid losses. 4 is keep a trading journal. And 5 is invest in yourself. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Definitely reach out to me at admin, ADMIN, at inpennystock.com for any kind of podcast episodes you like to listen to. I'm always trying to figure out what you guys are looking for. You guys have made my life so much better by listening to this, by subscribing on my YouTube, and just in general, it keeps it fun for me. So I'd love to know what topics you're interested in. And to be honest, I get a lot of emails from the business side of things, but I'd love more suggestions on content to make. I mean, I have hundreds of videos over at InPenny Stock, so I've covered a lot, and I've been doing this for 5 years with 30,000 students. But in general, if there's anything that is on the top of your mind, like send it over, and I'd love to kind of either feature you or make a podcast out of it or look into it and research it for you. So my final thing is, if you want to get access to one of our exclusive webinars, we actually have it, if regardless of where you're listening to this, if you text the word stocks, right, STOCKS, stocks, to the number 44222, you'll be automatically enrolled to our free webinar, right? How to become a 6-figure trader in 3 months. So definitely check it out, constantly updating the content in there, and you'll get subscribed to our email list as well, where you'll be able to get all the useful and helpful information about how to become a top penny stock trader. So again, you just text the word stocks, right? If you're driving, don't do this, but anywhere else, you can just pop out your phone, STOCKS, to the number 44222, and you'll automatically be subscribed. So, or you'll get a confirmation email, or they'll ask you to send your email, but it'll get you set up to get into that free webinar. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.